Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined with none other than the Cobra himself, Carl Froch. Carl, it's great to see you.
I can imagine how good it is for you to see me. No, go on, ask your question. That's the first and only joke I'll crack now.
Oh
no
my
more.
God. Oh, you're not going to talk about fighting in front of 80,000 people? You've been doing it for everyone else.
Didn't have to go there, do you? This is like, I've not mentioned it once in the last 6 months.
Lies, lies. Anyways, we just wrapped the weigh-in for Tony Bellew, David Haye, the rematch. David looking a lot lighter than he had in the first fight. What did you make of his physique?
He always looks aesthetically very pleasing, and you know, for a boxing analyst and a retired fighter like myself to look at somebody in such great shape, I've got a lot of admiration for him. But you know, he's genetically made like that. He's always in very good shape, and he's the polar opposite to Tony Bellew, who always looks a little bit fleshy. But make no mistake, Bellew's fit. He's done the work. But David Haye's really gone the extra yard. Mm-hmm. You say yard in the States, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gone the extra mile. We say that in England.
Well, we say that too.
Oh, do you? Yeah. Don't you have just yards and like kilometres? Do you have miles in America?
We have miles.
All right, okay. So yeah, he's gone the extra mile, and I reckon we're going to see the best last of David Haye.
So do you think that he is not going to win and he's going to retire?
Ooh.
You just said the best and the last of David Haye.
Yeah, I think this will be the end of David Haye, and I'm not saying he can't win the fight. I've actually predicted that he wins this in a very close. It's going to be moments of madness in there, because Bellew's going to try and land a big shot, that big left hook. David Haye will equally reciprocate that and try and land his big bombs, his haymakers. This fight could be very close. If it goes the distance, if David Haye's body holds up, it could be close on the points, could be anybody's. But I've just picked Haye because I just think that extra desire for the fact that he's at the end of his career and he knows his legacy's on the line. And I can empathise with that. When I fought George Groves, I knew it was my last fight, and I knew that I had to leave it all in the ring, and it's not all in the ring actually, you leave it all in the training camp, in terms of you have to do everything in the training camp to enable your body and your mind to get through that fight and do whatever you need to do to win. And I've just been speaking to David Haye and watching him and his body language, and he just seems really confident and comfortable and happy. And speaking to his team, I know he's put the work in. More importantly, the sparring, which he missed in their first fight. So I'm expecting a really good performance from Haye. And that's not to say Tony Bellew won't match him punch for punch and won't be in there late if the fight goes on, but I just think he just, for me, he just tips it. And a lot of people are disagreeing with me, and a lot of people are saying that Tony Bellew's a man. And if you look at it on past performances, David Haye's not really done anything to justify what I'm saying. But because his two comeback fights after his retirement, his early, in my opinion, retirement, he fought two nobodies, and then he fought someone who can fight in Tony Bellew, and he got beat up and his ankle went and he got stopped. So on previous form, it's difficult to make a case for Haye, but he's really gone for it, he has, and I feel that he's got this last performance in him.
David said that it would take a spectacular win from him, and what he means by spectacular is basically a stoppage in order for him to not retire. Do you think that he still has it in him to stop Tony?
Oh, so David Haye said that himself.
Yes.
So he wants a spectacular finish to keep his career going.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's going to convince him that he can still stay in the game, basically.
Well, that's a fair enough assessment. That's very, very honest of him to acknowledge that. To answer your question, yes, I do think he can perform, but I don't know if he can do it again. You know, a really good performance against Bellew, if indeed he can perform and win, that doesn't mean he can do it again, because you know, Father Time's just tapping on his door saying, "I'm here, son, it's time to retire." You know, that time came a while ago when he did retire. He did retire a bit early, but if he does bring his best back, will it be sustainable for another one or two fights at heavyweight? I don't think so, but boxing's a funny game. I mean, in the heavyweight division, it sees people come back and sees people get longevity out of their career. But let's not forget, David Haye's not a heavyweight, he's a cruiserweight.
Johnny Nelson compared the genuine beef between David Haye and Tony Bellew to you and George Groves. Would you say that there's a comparison there?
I think so, yeah. I mean, David Haye, I suppose, is playing my role in their fight, and Tony Bellew's trying to be a bit clever and try and still get underneath the skin of Haye, as George Groves was with me. And Haye's done really well to keep it under wraps. But the flip side of George Groves and myself was when Tony Bellew pushed Haye. That would have meant that Groves would have had to push me, but he wouldn't dare push me. I pushed him, and he bottled it. So that's the only difference. The last bit, I don't understand Tony Bellew pushing Haye. I don't get it. I don't get it at the end.
What's that pull tug thing that you guys did?
Little pull and a push on the gloves are off. We had a little handshake, didn't we? And he just didn't want to let go. I've got smooth hands though. He was a good hand cream, so he liked it. But no, he tried to have a little wrestle with me. He tried to get the upper hand. He tried to be clever, and he got totally outsmarted. And then he got knocked spark out. There was quite a few there as well.
Gosh, oh God, Carl.
Can we not be serious just for 10 minutes?
Because I just know it's like this 80,000 thing. It's just hilarious. Anyways, George Groves is fighting in the finals of the World Boxing Super Series. Since we're talking about him, who do you predict's going to win that? Callum Smith or George Groves?
My initial prediction was George Groves to win that fight, based on the fact that he's got a lot of experience at world level. Unfortunately for Groves, he injured his shoulder in his last fight. And I think has he had surgical intervention? He's had it fixed. So how is he going to come back from a shoulder injury? And is he going to be able to really explode with that arm? Now he's had that. I don't know. So until I see him, you don't really want to be testing it out against someone like Callum Smith. Callum Smith's a very good fighter, well schooled, good amateur. He's big at the weight. He's got a lot of range, but he's lacks a lot of experience or any experience at world level against somebody who's lively like George Groves. So I've got Groves the slight favourite, but you know that's just based on paperwork and rounds in the bank with former opponents. So close fight, good fight, and hopefully Groves can be back to his best.
All right, Carl, I'm gonna let you go because I'm hungry right now.
You hungry, yeah? Me too. I've been here since.
Yeah, but you guys got pizza over there waiting for you guys. We have to like get out of here and go grab some food. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you staying around and doing the interview.
Pleasure, always a pleasure. Never a chore. That's what the saying goes. But no, hopefully that's been an insightful bit of info for the fight fans. Hope they enjoyed it. I'm Michelle Joy Phelps. Yeah. Well, I'm with Michelle Joy Phelps. Yeah. Go on, you wrap it up. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. Anyways, bye, fight fans.
Ta-ta.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else